Alright, so I ended up getting off parole after like 6 months. So there's going to be like no more structure, nobody looking over my shoulder, drug tests, none of that shit. So, I'm at the barbershop. I've been cutting now for about 4 months, and I'm starting to get comfortable. So, I've dealt with like back pain, my whole life, and before I went to prison, I was addicted to Percocets, and I got them prescribed at the doctor at first because of my like herniated and bulging disc, L3, L4 bulging, L5S1 herniated. So, I was dealing with a lot of pain, prison. I just dealt with it, whatever. I get home dealing with the same pain. Now I'm standing on my feet all day at work. 8 hours, 9 hours, just like in serious pain to where like I would have to go home because I go to the gym, all the time as well. So I'm hitting the gym heavy, and I end up, you know, start taking perks again, like perk 30s and shit. So I'm just like taking a half, here and shit. So I don't feel the pain. And, eventually I go up to taking a whole perk a day. And, I'm just it's helping me get by because usually I would go home after work. After work it'd be like I'd be home by like 8 o'clock at night, go home, eat, take a nap, and then go to the gym. So I'm at the gym by like midnight. I would take a nap because my back hurt. I was in pain so much that when I would go to sleep and wake back up, it would feel a lot better because I was like resting. So I would do that, and I stopped doing that when I started taking the perks. I would like go home, go right to the gym and shit like that. But I was on that cycle for so long, like doing that, like going to the gym at midnight. It was just a lot of bullshit, and like my sleep was all fucked up and whatever. So I'm like, all right, taking the perks and shit again, and I'm doing that for like about a month. So I'm like, the fuck am I doing? You know, I start, thinking about that shit again. Like, something comes over me again, like another like shift, and I'm like, why am I fucking doing this shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta stop doing this shit because now I have to like function to function in society to take shit, and I don't want to do that. So I'm like, all right, let me stop taking these. Let me get on the Suboxone, and silent withdrawal and shit. So I started taking the subs. Now shit ain't no better. So now I'm on Suboxone. I'm taking like a piece of that, you know, for a minute. I'm on that for a minute, like a good amount of time, maybe like 6 months or so. But in the midst of me taking subs, um, I've tried like coke, and shit like that. I think I started smoking weed at some point, something like that. Um, so anyway, yeah, I didn't start smoking weed till I think after the 6 months. Yeah, that didn't come till later. But I started like, vaping nicotine and shit. I was just doing all this goofy shit. And I'm like, doing the nicotine. I'll never smoke ever. You know what I'm saying? So I did that for like a month. Stopped smoking the nicotine, and then I'm just like on the subs and shit. So I'm on the subs, working every day, still hitting the gym, and like I'm really into like I really want to fucking compete in bodybuilding and shit. I've been lifting all my life, so I'm like, damn, I need to do something with this shit. Like I always have like I have a strict regimen in eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not doing nothing with it. I'm just like recreational shit. So I wanted to get into bodybuilding and shit. So I'm on the subs, and I'm thinking like, man, I gotta get off these motherfuckers because now, like, I'm taking a higher dose. You know, I'm still not like taking a whole Suboxone, but I think I was up to like maybe almost a half of Suboxone, whatever the case may be. But I'm just like, I can't really um, keep depending on shit to function. Like, I would have to wake up, you know, do what I have to do, and then take the Suboxone just so I can function and shit. I don't want to depend on shit to function properly. Like, that's fucking crazy, you know? So, like, all right, you know, my girlfriend at the time, she's like, listen, like, I'll help you wean off these things. I'm like, all right, cool. So, she's like, here, you want to wean it down to here, 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 then you'll be good. So I'm like, all right, bet. So, you know, she helps me. At the time, she's like went through addiction and shit as well. At the time, she had just got clean, and so two addicts together, which was another toxic, shit. But this is all learning experiences anyway. So I helped her. I helped her get clean. Now she's helping me, get off the Suboxone. She was on harder drugs, but she's helping me get off the Suboxone now. So she helps me get off the subs, and get off the subs, and then I know I'm gonna have like no energy. It's gonna be bad. So I get off the subs, start taking Adderall, right? So to combat with the no energy and shit, I start taking Addies. So I start taking Addies, and I'm taking them, and I'm like, all right. So now I start taking these for a little bit, and I know I'm gonna have to start weaning off these. But what had happened is when I was about to start weaning off, I ended up getting the flu. So it was perfect because I didn't have to take them now. So I get the flu, and I have like walking pneumonia. No, not the flu. Yeah, it was walking pneumonia. I got walking pneumonia for like 3 weeks. And I was like, I went to the hospital and everything. Get walking pneumonia. So, I was reading about like plant-based shit, and I'm like, all right, this might be good for me, you know what I mean? So I started like reading about, my girlfriend at the time was like, you should maybe read about this or read about certain things. So I'm like, let me just start reading about this shit. So I start reading about plant-based shit, and so when I got done being sick, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go fully plant-based to see if this helps with my pain, So I get done the sickness. I remember it was like December, beginning of December. I start, I think it's like 2000. Let's say it's like 2017. No, it's 2018, beginning of December. And I'm like, all right, I'm doing this plant-based shit. Start the plant-based, cut out meat, cut out fish, and let's try this out. So man, when I tell you like the feeling I felt, not right away, but like, after a couple weeks, man, like I wasn't having any back pains. I had like way more energy. Like it was great, So that was probably about, let's see, 2018. It was like maybe a year little bit over a year after it was like a year and a half after I got out, and yeah, I was feeling great. You know, I never would have thought to even do something like that because I always would compete. Well, not compete. I always would bodybuild, and like now I'm looking to compete, and I'm like, how am I going to build muscle on a plant-based diet? That don't make sense. But after reading and understanding, then I'm like, oh, okay. Now I completely understand it. So, um, that was the start of my new journey.